everyone, welcome to Draw My Life by me, Ashley. As you know, my name is Ashley and I was born in 1983 in New Jersey. My mom and dad were married in May of 1982. They got pregnant in June of 1982 and they had me and my twin brother Joey, March 10th, 1983. We actually lived in New Jersey until we were 5, and then we moved down to Florida in 1989, and I have been living in Florida ever since. My childhood was pretty common, pretty normal. Had friends, went to school, all that. Me and my brother were close, not crazy close, but normal for a brother and sister. And then in 1990, our little brother was born. So there were 3 of us. When it came to high school, I actually went to private high school called St. Thomas Aquinas. Started in 97 and graduated from there in 2001. I debated where I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to stay in Florida because I actually had my high school boyfriend and I didn't want to live too far away from him. So we were in South Florida and I figured it would be good to, sorry, my dogs are fighting in the background. So I figured it'd be fun to not go too far away and move to Orlando. So that is when I went to the University of Central Florida in 2001 in the fall. I loved it there. Me and my high school boyfriend, who I didn't really get into, but we dated from 2000 until 2002. It was my first serious relationship. I lost my virginity to him, and for the most part I really enjoyed being together, but I knew that I wanted to go away for school. So my first semester at UCF, I actually ended up breaking up with my high school boyfriend in January. It was actually 4 days after our 2-year anniversary. So I actually moved home for a semester. I finished my fall semester at UCF and I thought, okay, well maybe I want to come home and stay in South Florida for the remainder of my college career. So I applied to a few different schools down here. I got into both of them and I was like, forget it, I want to go back to UCF. I ended up calling UCF and asking if it would be okay if I could go back to school there. And they said of course. Apparently, I don't know the time frame that you can not have to reapply, but I was good to go. So again, I packed up my car and I moved back to Orlando. This was my first semester as a college student where I was single and decided to really appreciate my college career. So in my college time, just being a single girl. So I hung out, I went to parties, and there is where I met at a party one night, Brian. I was actually pretty drunk and I don't even remember meeting him that night, but we did have a mutual friend and she introduced us. A few days later, we all went out together. We actually were in downtown Orlando and we went to a bar called Bar Orlando. I didn't know for sure that I liked Brian then at this point. I don't even know if I said that was his name, but I didn't know for sure that I even liked him at this point. There were a lot of other guys around that were in his fraternity trying to buy me drinks, and I really liked Brian. And I wasn't really sure why because I hardly knew him, but I was definitely interested. So that week we were kind of together nonstop and it was just really cute. We just really liked each other and we started dating. I don't remember an official date because honestly we were just so young and we would always, or he didn't want to break up, but I would always break up with him. And I was 19 at the time. Well, we both were. That was in May of 2002. So long story short, we were very on again, off again in our relationship. And when it came time to graduate, we actually weren't together anymore. So we spent approximately 5 years together, not together, mostly together in college. And it was a good experience despite our ups and downs. I actually graduated from UCF in May of 2006 and decided that I wanted to move home back to South Florida. So I had my degree from UCF in hospitality management, and I decided to apply for different jobs. I got one starting in May, so I moved home, and I still talk to Brian a little bit here and there, but it was very up in the air. He didn't really want to be with me. I broke his heart too many times, so it was just a time to really grow up. At this point, we were both 23 and just doing our own thing, just being young adults. I came to find another job, which I enjoyed, and I stayed there for quite a while, actually until this past December. So I was at my previous job from March of 2007 through December of 2012. Actually going back to me and Brian, so I was actually dating someone for a while. He was kind of a jerk, but he had his moments, and I was with this guy for 3 years. I never really could shake Brian, but I knew that I had to because I didn't think we would be getting back together. But in, I think it was February of 2011, Brian actually called me and for some reason wanted to talk to me about breaking up with his girlfriend. So, I mean, I was glad that he finally wanted to talk to me, but I didn't really understand why. It was just very odd to me that he would want to talk to me all of a sudden. So things weren't going very well with my boyfriend, and I knew that we weren't going to stay together, but we ended up not breaking up until July of 2011. And I actually hadn't seen Brian this whole time since, I believe it was 2007. So I ended up talking to Brian a lot, and we wanted to see each other. We were really excited, but we just wanted it to be right. So finally, on July 23rd, 2011, I packed up me and my dogs. Sorry, I didn't mention them, but I have 2 dogs, Bunny and Bentley, and we went up to Orlando to see Brian. We both were really nervous, and it was really cute, and it was actually pretty much love at first sight again. So we had a great time together, and I went home and we were talking like nothing had happened, and we were officially dating and back together 1 week later. So August 1st, 2011, we were back together. And we were doing long distance because, as I said, he was in Orlando and I was in South Florida. So we were maintaining that relationship. I was really trying to get back to get to Orlando to be with him. So at this time, I was just working and traveling to Orlando, traveling South Florida, and the same thing for Brian. We're just going back and forth, talking on the phone a lot, missing each other, excited that we would be together again soon. It was crazy, but we both knew that we wanted to get married one day. So we were talking about engagements and venues where we would get married. And on November 17th, 2011, Brian proposed, and it was really cute. Finally, I found out I was transferring up to Orlando in December of 2011, and in January 11th, 2012, I was back in Orlando with Brian. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, my phone disconnected. So anyway, we were living in Orlando and getting married in South Florida. So we did set our wedding date to June 1st, 2012 in Fort Lauderdale Beach. We were really, really excited. It went by fast. We had a great wedding day, and we went on the next day to our honeymoon, which was a Mediterranean cruise. We went to Italy, France, Croatia. We had a really great time and met some really great friends on there as well. So that was in July, and then we ended up deciding that we wanted to start our own business together. So we moved from Orlando back to South Florida together in February of 13. We're still not open. We're still getting all that situated, but we have been down here and happy, and decided that there was something else to add to our marriage, and that was a baby. So we started trying to conceive March of 2013. I kind of expected that we would get pregnant somewhat quickly, but it is what it is, and there's obviously nothing you can do when it comes to trying to have a baby, but we've been trying ever since. I've been charting my BBT, doing OPKs on different websites like Countdown to Pregnancy, where I've met a lot of really great girls. My username under that is Ashley Lauren, and okay, everyone. Oh my goodness, I am sorry again. My phone, the memory card was full again. So while my other videos are uploading, I will finish this really long story that's turning into, for me at least. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, I was on websites, Countdown to Pregnancy. I was just researching on the computer a lot and trying to figure out what was going on with trying to have a baby. So anyway, on a whim one day on July 27th, 2013, I decided that I wanted to take a pregnancy test. So I'm trying to think, I'm not even sure how many DPOs I was at this point. I believe I was 13 DPO. So I had a Walmart cheapie, and I took it, and the control line, as you know, comes up really quickly, and the test line was so faint. It actually came up after the time, but I ended up testing again the next morning, and I had a digital, and it said pregnant. I could not believe it. I was so excited. It was our 5th cycle TTC, and I was pregnant. So excited. I don't know why, but I was kind of thinking more about the miscarriage than the pregnancy. And, you know, I didn't want to have my hopes up too high, because unfortunately miscarriage rates are pretty high. So I just kind of went with the flow, and I started spotting. And long story short, on August 1st, 2013, I actually had a chemical pregnancy. So this was a little over 3 weeks ago, and it's really sad, and I definitely have my little angel in heaven, which is great, but it's just a really trying journey for me. I've gone through my ups and downs, and I know it's only been 3 weeks, but for those of you who have had losses, it's not very easy. It's just very heartbreaking, and there's not much you can do besides wait. So we decided to try the cycle again, and as of right now, we are still waiting to see what's going to happen, and just praying that we get another BFP. Anyway, I just want to thank you. I'm really excited about my YouTube journey. This is very new for me. This is only going to be, I think, my 4th video. I've been watching a lot of new girls, and it's just very exciting for me. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching and bearing with me throughout all of the pauses. But I look forward to uploading this and getting it live. Thanks. Bye.